everyone, I am Jenna Nunes and I am going to present to you about quarrying and the Philippine mining law. Quarrying is a process of removing rocks, sand, gravel, or other minerals from the ground in order to use them to produce materials for construction or other uses. It is often associated with a place where natural stone is extracted. Kinds of minerals or rocks taken from quarries. Quarry is the place where dimension stone or aggregates such as sand, gravel, crushed rock is mined. The products like dimension stone quarries are prismatic block of rocks such as marble, granite, limestone, sandstone, and slate. Methods used in removing rocks from quarries. First, digging or excavating is a method where stones buried in earth or under loose overboarding are excavated with pickaxes, crowbars, chisels, and hammers. 2. Wedging. This method is mainly used for the rock of sedimentary type, which are comparatively soft, such as sandstone, limestone, marble, slate, and laterite. In this method, first of all, naturally occurring cracks or fissures are located in the rocks to be excavated. The steel wedges or points are then driven with the help of hammer. In hammer, fissures or cracks and stones are detached. The split-out blocks of stone can be converted into marketable forms and supplied to users. 3. Heating is most suitable for quarrying small, thin, and regular blocks of stones from rocks, such as granite. A heap of fuel is piled and freed on the surface of rock in small area. The two consecutive layers of the rock separate because of uneven expansion of the two layers. The loosened rock portions are broken into pieces of desired size and are removed with the help of pickaxes and crowbars. Stone blocks so obtained are very suitable for coarse rubble masonry. Sometimes intermediate layers are to be separated from the top and bottom layers. In such a case, the intermediate layer is held electrically and the expansion separates it from the other two. Quarrying with channeling machine. The process consists of the following steps. First, the channels are cut around the stone block which is to be removed from the rock mass. Second, the horizontal holes are drilled beneath the block. Third, the wedges are driven into holes and the block is then broken loose from its bed. This process of separation of stone from the rock mass is almost invariably employed in case of limestones, marbles, and other soft sandstones. It is impossible to separate very large blocks of stones from the rocks by the application of this method. 5. Blasting. In this method, the explosives are used to convert rocks into small pieces of stones. This method is used when stone to be excavated is of very hard variety and it has no cracks or fissures. Moreover, if stone is to be excavated on a very large scale, blasting method will have to be adopted. No definite size blocks can be excavated by this method. After blasting, the excavated stone is sorted out in different sizes and categories. Explosives such as blasting powder, blasting cotton, dynamite, and cordite are used. The operations involved are boring, charging, tamping, and fining. List of large quarries located in our country. Coal, open pit mine in Toledo, Cebu. Malangas Coal Reservation in Malanga, Zamboanga, Sibugay. Panian open pit mine in Semirara Island, Caluya, Antique. Copper, Bayungan Mine, Surigao del Norte. For gold, Canatuan Mine, Zamboanga del Norte. Nickel, Ryutuba Mine in Bataraza, Palawan. Birong Nickel Corporation and San Roque Metals Incorporated. How quarrying activities affect the environment and human settlements? Quarrying activities have several serious environmental impacts related to quarrying activities on and near the rivers such as vibrations, land degradation, land subsidence and landslides, water pollution, occupational noise pollution, and air pollution will lead to health-related problems and loss of biodiversity. It adversely alters pre-existing ecosystems and changes hydrological regimes. Why there are still illegal quarrying activities done in remote areas which cause so much damage in our mountains and hillside? For me, the main reason is that government is lack of action in the rules and regulations when there is quarrying activities happen, and people lack of knowledge on how and what are the bad effects of quarrying on human and in our environment. The Philippine Mining Law. Philippine Mining Law Section 4. Ownership of mineral resources. Mineral resources are owned by the state, and the exploration, development, utilization, and processing thereof shall be under its full control and supervision. The state may directly undertake such activities or it may enter into mineral agreements with contractors. The state shall recognize and protect the rights of the indigenous cultural communities to their ancestral lands as provided for by the Constitution. Section 16. Opening of ancestral lands for mining operations. No ancestral land shall be opened for mining operations without the prior consent of the indigenous cultural community concerned. Section 43. Quarry Permit. Any qualified person may apply to the provincial or city mining regulatory board for a quarry permit on privately owned land and or public lands for building and construction materials such as marble, basalt, andesite, conglomerate, tuff, adobe, granite, gabbro, serpentine, in-situ filing materials, clay for ceramic tiles and building bricks, pumice, perlite, and other similar materials that are extracted by quarrying from the ground. The provincial governor shall grant the permit after the applicant has complied with all the requirements as prescribed by the rules and regulations. The maximum area which a qualified person may hold at any one time shall be 5 hectares, provided that in large-scale quarry operations involving cement raw materials, marble, granite, sand, and gravel and construction aggregates, a qualified person and the government may enter into a mineral agreement as defined herein. A quarry permit shall have a term of 5 years, renewable for like periods but not to exceed a total term of 25 years. No quarry permit shall be issued or granted on any area covered by a mineral agreement or financial or technical assistance agreement. Section 62. Employment of Filipinos. A contractor shall give preference to Filipino citizens in all types of mining employment within the country insofar as such citizens are qualified to perform the corresponding work with reasonable efficiency and without hazard to the safety of the operations. The contractor, however, shall not be hindered from hiring employees of his own selection, subject to the provisions of Commonwealth Act No. 613 as amended, for technical and specialized work which, in his judgment and with the approval of the director, requires highly specialized training or long experience in exploration, development, or utilization of mineral resources, provided that in no case shall each employment exceed 5 years, or the payback period as represented in original project study, whichever is longer, provided further that each foreigner employed as mine manager, vice president for operations, or in an equivalent managerial position in charge of mining, milling, quarrying, or drilling operations shall first present evidence of his qualification and work experience, or shall pass the appropriate government licensure examination, or in special cases may be permitted to work by the director for a period not exceeding 1 year, provided, however, that if reciprocal privileges are extended to Filipino nationals in the country or domicile, the director may grant waivers or exemptions. Section 63. Mine Safety and Environmental Protection. All contractors or permits shall strictly comply with all the mine safety rules and regulations as may be promulgated by the Secretary concerning the safe and sanitary upkeep of the mining operations and achieve waste-free and efficient mine development. Personnel of the department involved in the implementation of mines safety, health and environmental rules and regulations shall be covered under Republic Act Number 7305. Section 72. Timber Rights. Any provision of law to the contrary notwithstanding, a contractor may be granted a right to cut trees or timber within his mining area as may be necessary for his mining operations, subject to forestry laws, rules, and regulations, provided that if the land covered by the mining area is already covered by existing timber concessions, the volume of timber needed and the manner of cutting and removal thereof shall be determined by the mine's regional director upon consultation with the contractor, the timber concessionaire or permittee, and the Forest Management Bureau of the department, provided further that in case of disagreement between the contractor and the timber concessionaire, the matter shall be submitted to the secretary whose decision shall be final. The contractor shall perform reforestation work within his mining area in accordance with forestry laws, rules, and regulations. Section 85. Mine waste and tailings fees. A semi-annual fee to be known as mine waste and tailings fee is hereby imposed on all operating mining companies in accordance with the implementing rules and regulations. The mine waste and tailings fee shall accrue to a reserve fund to be used exclusively for payment for damages to: first, lives and personal safety; second, lands, agricultural crops and forest products, marine life and aquatic resources, cultural resources, and infrastructure, and the revegetation and rehabilitation of silted farm lands and other areas devoted to agriculture and fishing caused by mining pollution. This is in addition to the suspension or closure of the activities of the contractor at any time and the penal sanctions imposed upon the same. The Secretary is authorized to increase mine waste and tailings fees when public interest so requires, upon the recommendation of the Director. And that would be all. Thank you.